Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Good Roads Podcast. We are diving into this one. We're going to take a different approach this week, and it's going to be a little bit shorter than normal, a little bit different, but we think you're going to like it. So before we get into that, let's start out by introducing our, panelists, discussionists. What do we call you, Thomas and Andrew?
Contributors, experts.
There you go. We got Mr. Thesaurus over here. All right. How are your weeks going?
Well, it's, what is it, minus 20 something? Minus 16 right now, which is not as bad as it was overnight, minus 30. But I know our listeners from Northern Ontario will laugh at that. But
I think it's minus 20 with the wind chill, though. It's like
I think it was minus 30 overnight.
That always makes things worse. And I was in Ottawa on the weekend, and it was even worse.
It always is in Ottawa.
Like 5 degrees out.
Oh, man. Okay, so you two know how this goes, and for everybody else, let's fill them all in. In this new format, what we're going to do is we're going to take let's go 3 interesting topics, news articles, something like that from around the province, the world, things like that appeal to our members. And you two are going to discuss them. You have 5 minutes to get in whatever you want to say, any not controversial. We'll stay away from that from this time. Anything that you may not like about it, and you can discuss it amongst yourself. I'm going to put 5 minutes on the clock, and once that's done, we're done. That's the end of the topic. We'll move on. So this week, topic number 1, more Buy Ontario details are released. I'm going to put 5 minutes on the clock, guys. Ready, set, go.
All right. Why don't I start us off with this one, Jared? So back in, as our members will probably know, back in the end of last year, the province passed Bill 72, which is the Buy Ontario Act, and they outlined all this kind of stuff, which is which makes a difference or impacts our members when it comes to public sector procurement. Basically, the government's goal is to kind of support local jobs and supply chains by kind of broadening who needs to follow the provincial directives when it comes to procurement. And municipalities are very much captured by this. Earlier this month, they released some more details through regulation. It kind of added some more meat to the bone on this. And basically, the big news, I would say, for this is that the province kind of outlined when it comes to light duty fleet vehicles, what this new mandate or this procurement regime is going to kind of look like. They've kind of broken it up into different tiers. So they got like tier 1 vehicles and tier 2 vehicles, for example. So I don't know. Tier 1 is like the vehicle is actually produced within the province. And then tier 2, which is if those vehicles are not available, the municipality has to kind of try to source one that was actually, the supply chain is like for the most part based in Ontario.
Yeah, I was just looking at the list there. Very small list in the tier 1 when you really look at it, especially when you're considering what's actually useful for fleet vehicles. You got Honda Civics, you got your Lexus SUVs. The only trucks on the list are Chevy Silverados, from what I can see, because the Ford plant in Oakville is currently being retooled, so there's nothing going on there. Thomas, you and I were just at Roma. We were talking to people on the ground, and they're saying like, yeah, this is going to be actually difficult to comply with, or at least fit within the model. So I'd be very interested to see what this actually plays out with for municipalities. Passing through. It's like, okay, nothing fits for T1, nothing fits for tier 2. It's going to make a big of a difference. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and then I guess I would just add that once, like, only when those 2 tiers, like when they've exhausted all the options, municipalities still can technically source other vehicles, but they kind of have to document why the domestic options weren't feasible. So, there might be a little bit more red tape here, and this is kind of what some of our members were telling us when we were talking to them about, especially some of our smaller members who might be a little bit tougher to comply with this because it's more paperwork. Like, again, I think the intent here is very good. It's very noble. We want to kind of protect our province and our country against, what's going on in the world right now. But it is a little bit I am a little bit concerned about the extra red tape and administrative burden this is going to add
Yeah.
to our members, some of those smaller ones.
Yeah, I'd be very interested to see how this works from an enforcement angle, where it's just like, you're a small municipality, you're working off the side of your desk, and you're writing up. Do you have to write a report why the Lexus NX was not suitable for your municipality's needs? Is that what they're actually looking for? It's not it wouldn't be really a good look if especially small northern municipalities were on the in trouble for not filling out these forms and
the thing is the province can actually withhold funding if municipalities don't comply with this, which that's a little bit they're using like the stick here more than they are the carrot in a sense, because which small municipality or any municipality wants to risk losing their funding over this, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think one of the bigger changes, I'm not sure if this is a concern, but in this process, they've also prescribed to municipalities and local boards with like a new designation. Like, these are now entities that must comply with provincial procurement directives, which was not the case before. So there is like another question of is this more encroachment into the municipal realm? Is it more overreach?
Yeah, and then the final part of this, of hopefully, I'm not sure how much time I have left on the clock here, but is also just the procurement directive also affects capital infrastructure and construction projects. So if you have a project, you have to also try to procure those local goods and services domestically as well. Mm-hmm. And this again could have some implications, because we also have these international trade agreements, such as CETA, the Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement with the EU, and then also the Canada Free Trade Agreement, the CFTA. I think I heard a beep there.
I'm going to cut that off right there. That's been 5 minutes.
Wow. Just flies by.
Good discussion there, boys. Let's roll into topic number 2. It looks like Northern Ontario is taking a stand for safer roads. We're going to reset the clock right now, and starting now.
Okay, well, I can take this one. So last week, there was some rallies in Cochrane. I believe there was some rallies up in Timiskaming concerning Highway 11. Highway 11, as many of you, if you've ever driven on that area, it's just simply more dangerous on the road there. And the people in those communities are the ones who are paying the price. They called it the corridor of unacceptable risk. And Thomas and I have Good Roads has been, we've been campaigning for safer rural roads for the last few years in various capacities, so trying to get more funding for local roads. Of course, these are the highways, which are have been in the news as well. This is one of those things where it's like, sorry, Thomas, do you want to jump in?
I was going to say there's no shortage of stories that we constantly hear about the carnage on these highways, and it's really. It's really disappointing and heartbreaking every time you hear something happen. And there's a huge public health angle to this, and there's emotional angle to everyone who loses somebody. But there's also a huge economic angle to this as well, especially in the winter months, because when a tractor trailer jackknifes or something, it basically cuts off the entire highway, and it takes hours, sometimes even days before it can reopen again. And a lot of people forget this is the highway that connects in certain stretches connects the country into two. Yeah. I mean, it's east and west of Canada can actually be disconnected with when these highways are blocked off.
I grew up in Calgary. I lived 2 blocks south of the Trans-Canada Highway. We called it 16th Avenue. I lived on 18th Avenue. It's like a 4-lane highway right there. And I was, growing up, I thought it was just like, wow, you can take this across the country. I had no idea that it, as soon as it enters Ontario, it only goes into 1 lane, and then it splits off into 2 directions into the
yeah, that's right. 11 and 17, and they come together.
But it remains that extremely vital corridor. I couldn't fathom of I see entire fleets of enormous trucks driving by my neighborhood constantly, and then they hit sort of like this bottleneck where they're going through, and it's just not maintained to the same standards that we're used to on these big highways that we normally drive on.
Yeah, we're for our listeners. We're based in the GTA. I'm in Oakville right now. The 400 series highways are always kind of maintained at a standard that is much higher than those highways in Northern Ontario. But the highways 11 and 17 are probably just as important. They're the lifeblood of those communities
Yeah,
out there.
yeah.
Um,
And
and
it's probably important to mention that Good Roads is supportive of the FONOM proposal to variously twin and use 2+1 roads on there. And I know that there's also been the argument compared to the Italian model, where they're, we're trying to designate it as a national. What do they call it? One of these big projects.
Let's step back here for a sec. There's the projects of national importance, which the federal government has asked provinces to basically designate. What Phenom and some other municipal associations and municipalities, obviously including Good Roads, are doing is we were very much pushing for highways 11 and 17 to be designated as projects of national importance to kind of get some of that extra federal funding and to kind of help move these things along a lot quicker. What you're referring to, Andrew, something we here at Good Roads, I would say, and okay, we got Joe's telling me I got 55 seconds. I'm going to make this quick. Something funny that Italy tried to do a couple of months ago? They tried to get this bridge that they're building to Sicily to be designated as a NATO project because they argued that this could get military equipment from the mainland to Sicily. And what we were talking about this back here in Ontario, he said, well, how are highways 11, 17 not the same kind of level of importance to get troops across the country? Like if you have that one vulnerable point there around Nipigon, you cut the whole country in half. I mean, these days we have threats coming from all different directions. We want to be able to move people, military equipment, whatever. So the federal government wants dual use investments in infrastructure. Doing this would be dual use. It helps the economy, helps the people. And it helps the national defense.
We want to move troops. We want to move trucks, but we want to move people in our communities. We can't even do that, right?
We're gonna end it there. That's there's some good points on that, and actually, really good ideas right at the end there for designating this. Didn't even think about that. Fantastic. Let's move on to topic number 3, our final topic for the day, and then we'll get into something a little bit fun afterwards. Next-gen AI traffic cameras have just dropped. We've seen AI everywhere. It's in your traffic cameras. Guys, let me just reset this clock for 5 minutes, and let's go.
Okay, so why don't I get started on this? Basically, the reason why we're talking about this week, well, first of all, we always like to kind of shine light on some kind of tech AI related stuff just because they seem to be rolling out just like in all aspects of kind of this line of work. And for our members who are very kind of cash strapped a lot of the time and are always looking for efficiencies, some of these things are really interesting to hear about. And we're always kind of just trying to shine light on different things, different ways that our kind of members could do things better and more efficient, that sort of thing. But the story we want to talk about, I guess, this week is something we've actually heard that's just been rolled out in Arkansas by the Arkansas DOT. And basically what they've done is they've upgraded their work zone, like construction zone cameras, to be able to spot drivers who are holding cell phones. So if you think you can just kind of hold your phone and drive through a construction zone, the camera will catch you and you'll get a ticket. There will be a policeman though, so it's not fully automated. It will alert a policeman who will be at the end of the construction zone and ready there to give you a ticket.
Yeah, I'm sure there'd be outrage if it was just like fully automated, like the robots are ticketing us, and we're
yeah, fair.
I've seen a few of these AI powered things through a lot of different parts of the states. I think there's one in Santa Monica that the city vehicles are being equipped with AI cameras to ticket people in bike lanes, and I think there's also one in Pennsylvania where they're putting these AI cameras on buses to keep people out of bus lanes and bike lanes. I think
bike lanes, yeah.
So, yeah. it'd be kind of interesting how this proliferates. There's I do see one drawback though. It's like there's two dual movements going on, and they seem to be incompatible. Like we got these AI cameras detecting if you're looking at the road. Then we have other states who are going full force on driverless vehicles, where it's just like that doesn't seem compatible when there's not even a driver in the car, or there's a driver who's not supposed to be paying attention. It's like
Right.
there's I can't see this particular technology moving into those states, so we'll see like a little bit of a divide in
It's
these
true. That's
competing technologies.
in terms of emerging technologies and whatnot, Andrew. Yeah, that's a really good point because yeah, it's like you have this massive push from some of these tech companies that really are really pushing these autonomous vehicles or I'm not going to name the company, but full self-driving mode, which isn't actually full self-driving. But some people will go and think that, oh yeah, well it says full self-driving, I can just sleep in the car, or I don't have to, put my hands on the wheel. And it's like, no, you still have to do that. And it's funny, I do remember, and I can't for the love of God remember where I saw this, but I do remember hearing that there were some traffic cameras that are actually able to detect if your hands are on the wheel. I don't remember if that's in some of those vehicles, a potential, full self-driving or not, or if it's just like a municipal traffic camera that kind of has that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there definitely are some conflicting interests at play here.
I think it's the same states. If we were still going, camera crazy in Ontario, it wouldn't work because I think the AV rules for Ontario for that pilot, I think you still do have to have the your hands on the wheel. So that's probably one of the reasons why these companies are not really pushing into Ontario just yet. I think that'll be interesting to see how it goes because it's usually state by state. It starts in California. I know they're going hard in Texas, and then every once in a while you see like Waymo's moving here, Waymo's moving there. So
yeah. Although I did see that Minister Vic Fideli was in California last week, and he had gave a shout out to Waymo. I don't know if there's something else there behind the scenes that maybe something is coming. I don't know. That this is cue the rumor mill here. You say you heard it here first.
But we need some big legislative change or regulatory changes to allow for that to happen in Ontario. So who knows?
Who knows? Could happen. And the other thing is like there is a road safety element to a lot of this stuff. I know some of these cameras and whatnot are meant to make roads safer, but when you have these autonomous vehicles, we've seen so many news stories, and our readers of the GRB will know this. How many autonomous vehicles blew past the school buses with the arm out, and kids are trying to cross the street? That's really bad. Stuff like that has to be addressed before we get like real mass proliferation of these.
We got enough of that with real drivers. We don't need the robots to do it too.
All right, let's end it there, boys. Thomas, I just want to tell you on vehicles, you do not have to have your hands on the wheels unless the car tells you to. On my F-150 Lightning, it has Blue Cruise, and I drove from Niagara Falls to Brantford without touching my wheel on the way back from a hockey tournament.
If the cops are listening to this podcast, we can provide you with Jared's home address to go arrest him.
Yeah. Well, hey,
that's what I get for going green.
I grew up on the 80s. I think dads were trained to steer with their knees usually.
While swinging at the kids in the back seat, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was before we had boosters. We were just, we were strapped in, but it didn't, apparently that was dangerous, much more dangerous than we thought.
All right. Those were three really good discussions. Pretty pertinent topics to Ontario. Very good. So again, since we're diving into the new stuff, we're going to take a new approach to the ending here. We're going to have a little 5-minute discussion on something fun, and I'm going to take the reins on this one. Since the Good Roads Conference is coming up, our Monday night social event has become the talk of the town. Every year, somewhere different. We had Steam Whistle.
Sponsored by ATS.
Sponsored by ATS. Yeah, I didn't know that, actually. That's really sad. I should have known that. Last year was Steam Whistle. The year before was Hockey Hall of Fame. This year, somewhere very familiar to Thomas and I, and there's a funny story about that. Not really familiar to Andrew. It's the Real Sports Bar. And Thomas, I know you remember this. We went to a Leafs game and we stopped there for dinner once. And this is how popular the Good Roads Conference is. Everybody, you got to get out there, get your tickets now because they will sell out. We met a couple of guys there who had nothing to do with municipal industry, but just through word alone from friends and family members and people they knew about the Good Roads Conference.
Yeah, I think that just, Jared, that goes to show the power of the conference, bringing people together. For obviously for the good stuff, the sessions, the networking, the delegations, but also just you make good memories and good friends at this conference. So much so that you talk to people about it outside of the municipal sector. Oh, I went to this amazing conference. I think that guy Thomas Barricat who planned the program had everything to do with it, but
Let's call it an episode there. That was a good shot, a good, I guess, pilot for this this new format. Everybody, don't forget to follow, like, subscribe on YouTube. It helps us immensely, and it keeps us in the algorithm. Remember, the Good Roads Conference is coming up. Definitely get your tickets for that, as we mentioned. Everybody, even outside the municipal sphere, it's top of mind for them this time of year, and the Jays will be in town that time too. So yeah, stop by, see that, and listen to the fantastic speakers. Guelph Road School's coming up. Thomas, you look like you want to say something.
No, I was going to make a joke, but the Leafs still haven't been eliminated from the playoffs at that point. Although I think it's still a regular season, so
it will be, yeah, but there'll be a West.
Yeah, I think there's about 30 games left.
Yeah. So yeah, Guelph Road School's coming up. Get your education on. Everybody needs to be there. That it helps you immensely. It helps you with your certifications, AOR certifications, your CRSs. And until next time, everybody, take it easy.